While AI has dramatically accelerated innovation, it's also created a global RAM shortage. We'll examine the extended impact this memory scarcity is having on hardware availability, upgrade cycles, and business growth as we sit down and sync up with Rocket IT's weekly technology update. Hello everyone, I'm Chris Swinson, Technology Insider at Rocket IT, and welcome to Sync Up, your home for the latest tech news. When it comes to most technology, RAM is an essential component, acting as a device's working memory and allowing it to actively process information. From laptops and smartphones to servers and networking equipment, nearly every modern system depends on it. And over the past year, the memory market has tightened significantly, with pricing multiplying several times over. So what's causing this? Spending on AI infrastructure continues to increase around the world. Large-scale AI systems and the massive data centers behind them require enormous amounts of RAM to process data. This shift began accelerating in 2024 and has continued into 2026 as developers race to build out AI capabilities. At the same time, global production of RAM is concentrated amongst just 3 manufacturers who control well over 90% of the supply. And while they're building new facilities to meet demand, it's just not something that can be adjusted overnight. If current trends continue, industry leaders do not expect pricing or availability to normalize until 2028. Now, that's a long period of time, so what does that realistically mean for business operations across the US? If your organization manufactures hardware or depends on sourcing memory directly, you're likely already feeling pressure. We're seeing manufacturers delay product launches, reduce upgrade frequency, and in some cases, eliminate product lines altogether because they can't secure enough components. But even if you're not building hardware, this likely still affects you. Most organizations operate on structured hardware lifecycles. Devices are replaced to support new features, improve performance, and facilitate growth. With RAM becoming constrained, upgrade opportunities may become less frequent, and next-generation improvements may not be as dramatic as expected. If you're planning to scale, hire, or expand into new locations, keep in mind that your projected timelines could also shift if hardware becomes harder to source. And that's where the RAM shortage becomes a conversation about growth. When infrastructure becomes harder to obtain, innovation can slow, performance improvements may plateau, and expansion plans may require more lead time. Some leaders in the industry have already suggested that organizations may shift towards repairing and extending hardware life instead of replacing systems on a fixed cadence. That approach can make sense, but only if your devices are still early enough in their life cycle to support it securely and reliably. That's why taking an inventory now is important. This gives organizations a better understanding of their current tech stack and where each component is in its lifecycle, along with an opportunity to identify which systems are critical to growth and which can be optimized longer. At the same time, this is not a call to impulsively spend thousands of dollars on hardware out of fear. Stockpiling without strategy can create different problems. Instead, start with visibility. Evaluate your current environment, forecast your expected growth realistically, and then build a procurement and refresh plan that accounts for longer lead times and tighter supply. As you can tell, the RAM shortage is not just a pricing issue, it's a supply chain shift tied directly to the rapid rise of AI. And while innovation is accelerating in one direction, the physical infrastructure supporting it is catching up more slowly. Organizations that treat hardware planning as part of strategic growth rather than an afterthought will navigate this environment far more effectively. And if you need help evaluating your current environment, forecasting hardware needs, or building a refresh strategy that accounts for these market realities, reach out to Rocket IT using the link in this video's description. And to stay up to date on trending technology news, hit that subscribe button and the bell to catch us on next week's episode of Sync Up with Rocket IT.